What's going on, everybody? Canuck here. It has been a while since we've done any sort of PGA 2K content at all, but we finally heard some news of a new game as the PGA 2K Twitter just dropped a very short, like 6-second teaser video today. We're going to break it down. It's 6 seconds, I know. And then get into maybe some predictions as we start to build the hype. We finally have heard there's going to be a new game. So let's check out the trailer, the short trailer, and then we'll get into some predictions. Let's do this. So here is the tweet in question that shook up the PGA community. This was dropped very early this morning. We're going to break this little tiny trailer down. I know it's ridiculous to break down a 6-second trailer, but we're so desperate for content. So yeah, this was tweeted at 7 a.m. this morning. Just says, ready for your next tee time, August 22nd, 2022. Hashtag PGA Tour 2K23. So we know it's coming. I think a lot of people were maybe like, is this the release date, August 22nd, 2022? They did clarify down below here, more information to come regarding PGA Tour 2K23 on August 22nd. Stay tuned. So let's take a look at this video. It's 6 seconds. This is all it is. I mean, there's not much to glean off that, but we know it's coming, okay? Few quick things I got from this 6-second video. One, I mean, I maybe sneakerheads, people big into equipment and stuff like that are going to be excited. You know, these look, I think these are Jordans. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think those are Jordans. So maybe we're getting some Nike integration into the game. On the not so great side of things, just looking at this screen, this does not look like there's been a huge engine change. So if people were hoping for this big graphical upgrade, I don't think we're going to get it, but it looks fairly similar to the new game. Definitely looks better, but it definitely looks fairly similar. So we'll have to wait and see. That's really all I got from here. A few people I noticed on Twitter were noticing that swing looked a little glitchy. It's so early, guys. I mean, I'm not worrying too much about that, but it is there, so we'll mention it. But anyway, that is the video. It's super exciting. Let's get into some predictions. What is this game going to look like? When's it going to come out? Let's talk about it. All right, let's get into some predictions. And let's start with the release date, obviously. When are we going to get to play this game? I think a lot of people thought, you know, end of August was probably going to be the time, as the last couple games released around that time. However, as the weeks kind of went on and we didn't hear any information, that became probably less and less a possibility. It's definitely not happening now. We're just going to get info on it on August 22nd. So that leads us to, well, when down the road are we going to get it? When you think about things, we now have another golf game with EA, and they haven't really dropped anything, but they are looking at a spring 2023 release. It would be very, very interesting if PGA 2K went head-to-head against them and went to like a March-April date. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they're going to take on EA head-to-head. And I also don't think they're going to drop it in the middle of winter. I don't think it's going to be like December, January, or even February. I mean, not a lot of people are really locked in on golf those months. I don't see it happening. Which kind of brings us to a sweet spot. I think we're only a couple months out. I really think it's kind of going to be in the mid-October to mid-November range. By then, I mean, with 2K, NBA is already out. It's kind of a nice little zone where there's not really too many sports releases going on. I don't think there's any going on. So I'd keep an eye on mid-October to mid-November for a release date. Next, I mentioned this briefly earlier, but let's talk about graphics, kind of what I saw there, and maybe something on the more kind of a bummer side of things is I don't think we're getting a new overhauled graphics engine. I think we are still going to be in Unity for it. There's lots of things you can do in that engine, so I'm assuming there's going to be a nice little graphical update there, but I wouldn't expect anything mind-blowing. You know, with the designer and stuff, which we'll talk about later, being able to port courses and all that stuff, if that is still going to be able to happen, that graphics update that huge graphic overhaul probably can't really happen. In terms of kind of playing as the pros, I know a lot of people really kind of miss that, and having a golf game where you can't play as like Tiger, for example, that would be crazy. I think they are absolutely implementing the ability for us to play as PGA pros, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some LPGA content in there. I really hope we do, and some representation from some LPGA players. That would be absolutely awesome. But being able to not only play against, but play as those players, I think is something they absolutely have to do. Another thing that I feel really has to happen at this point is crossplay. I really think this needs to be implemented. I really hope they do. And again, it's tricky with the swings because people know with PGA 2K21 how different the swings are between PC and PlayStation and Xbox. Have they found a way to kind of level the playing field? We'll see, but maybe there might be some new swing modes. 3-click, maybe. Maybe 3-click's a thing. I don't know. But maybe that might be something that might help to level the playing field. I think we're going to see a lot more licensed gear, clothing, like we talked about. We saw the Jordans in there. So I think we're definitely going to get some stuff from Nike. Probably an implementation of some more Clubhouse Pass stuff where we can unlock some gear. Not only clothing, but clubs as well. I think the Clubhouse Pass is going to hopefully be more enhanced and hopefully go more than, I think they only did it, what, for 2 seasons in 2K21. So I'm almost certain we're going to see it for 2K23. Next, I think we are going to see a really, really, really big focus this year on your My Player. It's such a big thing in the other 2K franchises, NBA, for example. I kind of see PGA following suit with that. And I also see there probably being some emphasis on an attribute or maybe a perk system. Something, again, very similar to NBA. It's something that we haven't had in the PGA games. The PGA games has been very like raw and natural and has really just completely gone off skill. I think we are going to get some more in terms of attributes and perks. Maybe they're tied to clubs or things like that. Now that makes the game, yeah, probably a little bit more on the arcadey side, which maybe some of the hardcore players might not be too interested in. But playing head-to-head, having the abilities to maybe turn those off, or who knows, I mean, having those on might be super fun as well if they're nicely balanced. So it'll be very interesting to see what they're doing, but I would expect we're going to see more of a shift to that. My number one, you'd think it's the designer, but my number one hope and prediction is we're going to get a more engaging career mode. The career mode has been very flat in the last 2 iterations. Definitely was a little bit better with 2K21, but it still lacked a lot of engagement, and JT won every tournament. It didn't really grab us, but I think we're gonna, with the perks and attributes and building your player up, I really think they're gonna blow us out of the park with career mode. I really, really hope so. And my number one hope is after your first season of career mode, to keep it engaging. Maybe not have the same schedule. Maybe let us use some courses that have been designed and replace them to keep things fresh. Let us be able to share schedules. Obviously, with licensing of some courses, obviously some tournaments would have to stay the same, and that's fine. But maybe some of the minor events, just being able to switch out some courses with others would be amazing. We'll see. That's a big wish list thing, but I would love to see something like that. And finally, a reason why probably a lot of you guys are subbed to my channel is because of the designer. And we're obviously going to see some big designer improvements. We have to. There's going to be just more stuff. There's going to be some quality of life improvements. There's just going to be more things to play with. There's going to be more toys in the toolbox. There has to be. I'm excited for that. Again, I've just been taking a little bit of a break from design. I hope whatever's new there brings me back in. I am very excited for that. And then just hoping we get some fixes on things that really needed to be fixed. Like, for example, ball drops. Like, they just don't work in the game. And those are my predictions, and I look forward to hearing more about 2K23 next week. What are your predictions for the new game? As always, let me know in the comments. And finally, if you like the content and you haven't subscribed to the channel, it really does help me out. We're going to have a ton of PGA 2K23 content coming. I can't wait to bring it all to you. Bring on PGA 2K23. See you next time.